Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. My name is Della, and I love cross stitch, and I'm looking forward to sharing my projects with you today. I only have a few. I have a lot more, but I only have a few that I've been working on. So we'll just go through those, and let's see. I know it's not Thanksgiving today, November 30th, but we're still in a celebration mood here and eating turkey and pie and stuffing. And yesterday, my mother had mashed potatoes and green casserole for breakfast. I said, "You don't want me to make you a breakfast?" Nope. She said, "Bring me some mashed potatoes and gravy." So I did. And I'm going to have some apple pie when this is done. Not homemade apple pie. I've made apple pie and I've eaten store-bought apple pie, and I know which one is better, and it's not mine. Let's see. Let's start with, this is a sampler that I'm making to honor my third great grandmother on my father's side. Her name was Anne Marie Bendixen Hansen. She was a Danish immigrant to the United States and died in Nebraska. So I haven't been stitching on this as much in the last couple months as I had been before that, but let me show you the progress that I've made. So this is how big the sampler will be in the end. Stretch all the way down to the bottom where I haven't done anything yet. But I'm getting ready. I'm excited. I'm getting ready to start on the bottom part because look what I did just, I think, last night. I over here on my stem, I made it down to the middle. So it's not much farther past the middle before I start on the base. So I'll get to that soon. In fact, this is what I was working on last night, was the stem down here. Before, I think it was up here somewhere. So I have worked on that a bit. I haven't done anything right here, but I'm ready to. I'm excited. I felt this hadn't been filled in before. I had kind of an outline and had filled it in a little bit, but I filled that in. I've started here. I just have to finish this leaf for my Queen of Denmark rose. I designed all of this, everything on here. Let me go in a little closer so you can see things a little better. There we go. Hopefully you can see that as I go in. So when I do the leaves that come over here, they're going to run into the stitching, the design that I have, her name and the flying geese border and the alphabet down here. And this is Hansen coming across here. There's going to be another leaf come this way. And they're kind of big. So yeah, they'll run into the stitching, and I'll figure that out when I get to it. I haven't worked any more on the border that goes around the red border. But I did fix my problem that I had over here. I had a heart that I had not done correctly, and it was getting me off on the ones that come after it. So I figured out the mistake, took it out, and restitched this heart. And that meant I did have to move the prairie rose, which I wasn't sure before, but of course I did have to move it down just a little. And then I've started the next heart to go down this border. It goes all the way down to the bottom with these hearts. I still haven't worked on Hansen anymore. I did, however, it's easiest to fold this up. Work a little bit more on this border. I put a little bit more in. So you can see that that is not cross stitch, and I can't remember which stitch it is. I'll have to get that. I was going to bring that book in and show you, but then I didn't. So I had already done most of what you see here on the alphabet. I actually Haven't been working on the alphabet as much. I did chart the candle motif that I'm going to be putting in soon, but all I did was start the M. And then I can come down over here and put in the N, the O, P. Anyway, somewhere in there I'm going to put the candle motif, and then I can put the other letters. And by the time I get to the ribbon motif, I hope to have charted it. It doesn't take that long once I do it, and that just takes um, not being able to sleep at night. And I sometimes pull out my journal and chart a design. So I'm really happy and excited with this pattern, but I haven't been stitching on it as much. I have been working on some other things. So sorry about the camera moving. When I bump the table, it just bumps the computer. So this is the thing I've been working on a lot the last week or two. Um, a lot for me. I understand that like other people say they did like a few hundred or thousand stitches on a project, but that's not. No, I've been sick for like a month. I'm mostly better now, but yeah, I didn't most of that time. A lot of that time, I didn't feel like cross stitching. I was too busy dealing with snot and phlegm and all the gross parts of being sick. And if I'm drinking tea or anything besides water, I don't have it around my cross stitch. Too much chance it could spill. So this is a napkin, and I'm designing all this too. These are going to be trees, my favorite trees, my 35 favorite trees, and my very favorite tree is the cedar of Lebanon. So it goes in the middle, and I've reached the edge of the square, and you know it kind of makes the tree look a little bit blocky to do that. So I've thought about coming outside of it, even going into the other squares on the side, just to make it look better, but we shall see. I may cut it off at the edge of the block, or I may let it go to the sides. The idea is to put, like, in the space around or below or above or whatever, um, the name of the tree, which at some point I'll do that, but I just haven't yet. So the biggest thing is I've started on the trunk there in the middle. So all this below that will be these great big wide branches. Most of it's the light colored green you see, but there's some darker green for where it's more shadowed. Um, so I filled in more up here. I think over here is where I've done a lot of the work, but some of it's all the way across. I've filled in some down here. I've started doing this all gets, there's more down here than what you see. This was just to give me, I was excited to go all the way across and have an idea of where everything fits. But yeah, there's branches that come down this way and that way. And that's what's going on here. I think as this fills in, you'll get the idea that these are branches kind of poking out. it This way of doing the tree doesn't really give you all the really pretty shape of a cedar tree, the way their branches hang, which is so beautiful, especially this one. But so I do think I want to do another pattern based on this, not necessarily this particular version of it, but maybe another one where I can have a bit more definition to the tree. Here we go. I can hold this in a little closer for you to look at. Okay, I think you've got a good feeling for that. Um, And as I was thinking about the cedar of Lebanon going outside of it, I thought, well, what am I going to do with my redwood tree? Same thing. I might need to have it go a little bigger. It's not so wide. Well, I mean, in a way, it might be so wide, but in comparison to the other trees I'm going to do. But anyway, I'm not sure which tree I'm going to do next. I actually have them on my phone, a lot of them. I just looked up pictures of it. I thought I'd show you the one I'm working with. This is where I'm getting my inspiration for my tree. So yeah, you can see that there's this middle section that's mostly trunk and not so much green. But anyway, there's more leaves, branches at the top and at the bottom, and they do just kind of like spread out really wide. It's really pretty. You can also do like a little bonsai cedar of Lebanon tree, and it still has that same awesome shape. And in bonsai, wow, I think it's just about the best one in bonsai. Then I'm biased. It's my favorite. So, okay, here's another one I spent a lot, probably the most time working on this past couple of months, really. Um, I know for how much progress other people make on something, it won't seem that way, but for me, it was a lot of progress to make. So this is a dimensions kit that my sister-in-law gave me some time ago. Not really sure exactly. Let me hold it up here so you can see. And it's called Hummingbird and Poppies. And so I've done a ton on this one and over here. And I've added here and even started up on this poppy. So for the most part, I've been working with reds and some pinkish colors. But now I've started on some purple. And it really does help give that dimension to the project because you'll see. This is just 14 count Aida. I think it's like a cream or ivory colored Aida. The thread comes from it. All this comes in the dimensions kit, and it's their own thread. It's not like DMC. So if I run out, which could happen because I do have to take out. Anyway, you can see the purple over here. A little bit of purple down here too. So I think I also found some mistakes that I had made that I had to take out. Not a lot, but I did have some frogging to do. And then I did do a bunch up in here, which I think I found mistakes up there too. And then this is my fourth poppy up here. Anyway, I'm really excited. I really had a lot of fun stitching on this. And yeah, looking forward to making more progress on that. Those are all projects that I had been working on before, that you've seen before. My three main projects I've been working on. And then I've been doing this for my mother because it was my bright idea for her to take out this border that she had stitched because she had not added the metallic gold. So she had stitched this part of the border, not this part. And she would have stitched this part. But she wasn't going to change this, and it was not in the right place. It needed to be moved. Otherwise, it had been stitched correctly, but it didn't have the metallic gold added to the DMC floss. And I said, it will look better with the metallic, so let's take it out. I said, you're doing so much work on the design. Here, let me show you what the design is first. Oh, did I bring the right paper? I did. This is from Across My Heart pamphlet that's from like 1990 or early 90s. It's this one. And we have spent a long time working on this because originally she started doing this on like a cream fabric. And I think that might still be there to be finished somewhere. And then she decided, no, I want it on the black. So she started on the black. And she's gone through and taken stuff out a lot, including the border with my help. So I've gone through every step of that with her, because Mom's eyesight's not what it was, and her memory. And so she just needs a little help to be able to finish these things up. So anyway, the center part is mostly stitched. She still has a lot of the backs, most of the back stitching to do, which I do think we should get started on. I keep saying that, but we should. And then I've been putting the border back in for her. And yeah, that's going to be really pretty when it's done. She wants to get it framed and up, and so she gets frustrated that I don't spend more time on this. But I still am going to work on my projects, you know. Anyway, so let me show you. I had done a lot of this before, but I have worked on it some and brought some of this down farther here and here, so that I'm almost to the bottom there. You can see I've got a little bit more to do on that part. And I haven't really worked any more on the top. The top is mostly finished, but I need to fill in some of this, I call it swirly gold, in the corners a little bit more. I haven't worked on that. But I have worked on the swirly gold on, like over here. I've worked on this some more. Sometimes it's hard to tell, but I have. And then over here, I had already gotten this down to the bottom. I think I might have done a little bit more over there. I've done some more here. That all has to get filled a lot more. It has to look like this. So there's a lot of work to do. And I need to work on the bottom still. So one last look at it. I do this because when I'm watching other people's videos, they don't let me look at it long enough so that I can look at all the different things that I find interesting. And then I usually like to let you see it up close, but a lot of what I've done is on the bottom part. So let me fold this a little bit. And then I can let you look at it more up close. I don't know if you can hear people talking. People say that on videos I watch and I can't hear anything. I can hear people. So if you can hear people, that's just because I don't live alone. And I forgot to tell them I was going to record, but they're still going to talk a certain amount. So that's the part that's the gold filament blended with the DMC. And then over here, I look at it. It's something. But yeah, anyway. Okay, well, hopefully I'll have done a lot more by the next time I show you this. That would make Mom happy. Make me happy too. Okay. Then I had shown some fabric that my friend Paula had sent me. A whole bunch of fabric. I only took one piece of the fabric and cut it up and started a couple projects. One I started from a magazine that I've had for a while. I have not had it since it came out. I went and bought one of the old magazines, either at there's a thrift store around here called Deseret Industries. Most people just call it DI. So either there or I could have gotten it like at a yard sale. I don't know where I bought this, but anyhow, it's called For the Love of Cross Stitch. It's the first issue. That came out if it didn't come out in 1990, it's like the late 80s. So this is a Paula Vaughn design from back then. She does paintings and then they get turned into cross-stitch designs by someone else. And I'm not sure, but it's in here somewhere. Somewhere in the embroidery or the quilting. It's like a quilt. Yeah, she does a lot of quilts. So I just started, and I'm not sure if I'm showing it to you right side up or right side down. I think you could see it's like a cream color that's going in a row there. Well, that's just, I believe, like I said, it's either this one or this one, but it's just the bottom of the quilt piece of fabric. Yeah, maybe it's down here. That would make the most sense. It could be that right there. A lot on it, just a little bit. Got it started. I was excited, and when I cut the fabric up, I said, "What can I use this for?" And then I thought, "Oh, that." This is a different fabric that I had, like just a linen. I think this is an MCG Textiles, 28 count or 32 count. I'm not sure, like a cream or ivory color. And so I also bought some Avera Swa silks, like a cream and a olive green. And that is so I could start this pattern that I showed you in the last video by Reflet de Soie, Willie Corbino 1847, this beautiful vase, but it's actually these cream colored flowers over here. Excuse my hiccups. See, I don't know if this will help, but we'll see. Anyhow, really excited to get started on this. Yes, I only have 2 of the silks because when you see how much progress I've made, you will understand that I don't need any more just yet. So it's not going to be all that big, really, and I'm showing it to you the wrong way because it goes like this. I think it's like this. So here they are. I hope you could see that. Like, I can see it when I look on the screen, but hopefully that means you can see it. Anyway, and then the green, there's a lot of green in that. So I thought those were 2 good colors in the middle that I could start with and get myself some more as I go along. Now, the fabric that I cut up that my friend had sent, most of it is this right here. It's great big. Oh, it's fairly big. And I am doing a design from my Celtic Art in Cross Stitch by Barbara Hammett. I don't know if this is out of print and you can't get it anymore, but it's this one up here in the corner. Celtic Peacocks. I've got a better picture in here I can show you. I've had this book for 20 years at least, and haven't done much at all in here. But I'm excited to do one of the main projects, which is this one. And I went and bought a bunch of the floss, which I was excited about. This is where I've been stitching, is down here. We were able to see that. I'm going to show you on the fabric. All right. Yeah. You don't need to see all this up here. But I went and sewed a hem around the edge so I wouldn't have trouble with frame. And just fold this down. And yeah, I really have enjoyed this. I might have had to take a little bit out, but I think I have just been stitching with the one color. Um, anyway, I'm excited to do more on that. I was thinking about getting that out today. I think about things a lot, but acting on them. We could just cross stitch all day, and I couldn't cross stitch all day because the past few days I've had to stop because my hands and arms too were so sore. And it's not because I mean I had been cross stitching a fair amount for me, but compared to what I hear other people do, I think their arms and hands aren't giving out. How come are mine? I did buy a new design. This is, I think, maybe when I got the silk, I ordered this too. I can't remember if this came by itself or with the silk. This is Jan Hicks Creates. Wait, let me take it out of this. This is like one of 4 designs that you could stitch all on the same fabric. And I think you'll see as you look at this how that works, that it has this border like this that continues with the other designs. And they're like a different color. They're not all the same color. The irises are one of my favorite flowers. If not my favorite, they could be my favorite. Sometimes daisy has been my favorite. And I also really love a wild rose, but probably iris. I really love the white and the purple iris, but this is just fine. I thought this was really pretty. Um, I wouldn't mind stitching 4 of those in a design and just having iris, not. Um, I haven't started that. I just got that, bought it. And when I was at a store called At Home the other day to get a rug, I'm getting a recliner and needed to get a rug to go under it. They had a lot of Christmas stuff, including tablecloths. And when we had Thanksgiving dinner, my sister pulled one out for the table, but she said it was the only one that she liked. And I thought, really, we only have one Christmas tablecloth that you like? And I started a Christmas tablecloth last year, but that's a big project. So it's not, I haven't worked on it in a year. So it's not ready to be used. But I thought, let's get another one. And when I grabbed it, I looked at it and said, can I cross stitch on that? See what you think. We're going to find out when I try to push my needle through the fabric. I guess I'll do it around the edge of it somewhere instead of smack dab in the middle. And I thought, oh wow, wouldn't a white Hardinger tablecloth be exquisite? And then I thought, yeah, but what if you can't really cut the threads the way you need to? It's pretty tiny. I mean, that's really, really tiny, kind of like the other fabric I'm doing the tablecloth on. But anyway, that one's kind of more creamish. It's not quite exactly white. I mean, it's whitish. But anyway, this one is white, white. And so that'll be great for a Christmas tablecloth. And I have lots and lots of Christmas designs, even though I haven't really cross-stitched much at all Christmas. My coworker Sarah likes to embroider. So she had a bunch of cross-stitch books. She said, do you want these? And I said, yes, I do. So one is called Cross Stitch Country Christmas by Brenda Keys. There's A to Z Samplers, the Vanessa Ann collection. These are people here in Utah. But both of these I think are like from the 80s. Actually, maybe all of them are from the 80s. They're all kind of older books. This one's called Making Samplers, New and Traditional Designs. Jutta Lammer. These people are not from Utah. Just the one that I showed you. My favorite is probably the needlepoint book, but I figure I can do it as cross stitch. I would like to do needlepoint, but I never do push myself to do it. I just say I would like to, but then that means buying canvas and stretching it instead of just buying fabric and cross stitching it. Anyway, I should show them to you. I'm going to show you one thing out of each one so you get an idea of what's in. I'm not going to show you the whole. This is a good one to show you. It has a partridge in a pear tree. And that's probably one of the bigger designs. They're mostly like really miniature little designs, as you can see from the cover. They're really tiny. And this one actually has several in here that I would enjoy stitching. So some are pretty enough, but I'm probably not going to do them. This one is like chickens and eggs. It's just cute. Isn't that a fun fabric? So anyway, I liked that. And then this one has got a lot of alphabets and motifs in it that you could use and like make your own sampler, or you can do the samplers that they have. They have some like history information on samplers. But let me find one I can show you. Wasn't that tree and that dog really cute? So kind of a traditional looking sampler. And then the needlepoint book has a lot of poetry in it actually, and other things that you can include. A lot of artwork and explanation of English history. Wow, just lots of information. Most of the patterns are really pretty, but they just have the chart. They don't really have a picture to go with it for me to show you what I would be stitching. But here's an example. So I haven't started anything from that yet though. And then I don't know if I had done this before, but I have these. I got a bunch of these at Hobby Lobby. They come like as a collection, 3 together. And instead of just laying my stuff on a table or couch, I can put it in here. And I'm a little bit tidier that way. And I complained about the scissors I had bought, so there's some nice tipped scissors. I want to say that I bought these, but now I'm not sure if those are the ones that my mother already has. I'll have to, if we have 2 pairs, then it's the ones that I bought. So I'd have some sharp pointed scissors like my mom. This is a project that I'll show you that. Let me show you this. This is, I just got this, I got this yesterday at, did I get it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday was Saturday. At Smith's, I think. Or did I get this at Hobby Lobby? I think I got it at Smith's. Anyway, I need to get stuff to go in here. So this year it will probably just be like little treats and whatever. But I was thinking that it would be fun to cross stitch some little tiny motifs like that one book had in it that you could put like a ribbon or something on to hang on a tree, like a little miniature tree, and tuck them in here. And you take them out. Then your tree's not really decorated if you do it like that. So maybe not. Well, it was a nice idea. I was just thinking it would be fun to do something with cross stitch to go in that, but I'll have to reevaluate that part of the idea. Since you like most of your decorations to already be up before Christmas. Yeah, this is how I chart. Just on pieces of paper or in my journal. But I finished it. I had shown you this before, but I hadn't added the vinyl pocket, and now I have. So I can keep my stuff all together. I've got my pattern, and then I've got my floss in there, and I can, well, it's on the bottom of everything, but when I go through it, I can put my fabric in here, my Anne Marie Bendixson. But yeah, look, I sewed it up, and this is completely, including the zipper, 100% hand quilted and sewn by me. And yes, that's why it took so long. And it probably looks like I did it. Uh, I'm proud of it, and I enjoy doing it. So that was how I wanted to make mine. And this is the last thing to show you. No, there's two more things to show you. I'll show you this next. My mother got this idea of how she wanted to do her organize her floss, which was one of these but really big. She liked the way the floss drops work, where you have your thread like this, but she also liked these things, and she liked having the big hole. So she just made her own, so she could do it how she wanted to. But I thought that was a great idea. She's got a ton of them, and the idea is to hang them up in her sewing room. Anyway, it's all DMC. This is, oh no, I have two more things to show you, not one, and one of them is frosted. So let me show you that first. This is not. My mother, back in the 80s, I guess, cross-stitched this, and isn't that just delightful, the old-fashioned look? For her brother, her oldest brother, William, who has died 12 years ago now. And she did this all those years ago. It has his name and her name, and I'm going to read what it says. To my brother William, and it's really pretty lettering. Some people have a certain knack for always seeing the brighter side of life. They relate to others in a warm and special way. They're good-natured and easy to get along with. They're likable and pleasant. So it's not at all surprising that people like this are just too special to forget. And I guess it's a quote by someone else that she put their name, her initials, S, I think, G, Cartier. Anyway, I thought that was really cute and special. Not everybody gets to have somebody make something like that for them and say something that nice about them. This is the baby quilt that I finished. This is what I was working on from the summer and September and October. And I do still need to bind it, and then it will be finished. I started this in 2006 and finished it in 2025. So, yeah, not the best time thing, especially because I was going to finish it in 2007 when my nephew was going to be born. He graduated from high school this year, and now it's finished. He's still a little young to be having babies and give it to him for his own baby. Plus, he'd have to have a boy because I made this for boys. It's got like Huck Finn and fire trucks and dogs and trucks and stuff. Anyway, I'm going to show it to you. I'm very proud of it, even if with all of its flaws that make it evident that I made it and that I have not made a lot of quilts. This is a nice size baby quilt. It's supposed to be for a crib. The room's not quite big enough for me to show you the whole thing, but I'm going to hold it up to you closer so that you can, well, wait, let me show you. I did it like this so I can show you the back. Can you see the quilting on the back? It's diagonal. Maybe that's the best way to show you the quilting. Anyhow, it's nice to be able to park my car in the garage. We just had a snowstorm today. So I finished this up back in October. And I could have done the binding, but I have postponed that. As I said, there's no one having a baby right now, so there's no rush in that regard. Let me come up closer. Make sure you can hear me. I'm not positive you heard everything I said. I don't usually make the video from such a distance, but I had a lot of fun picking the fabrics out. So let me show it to you up closer just so that you can see the fabrics. There's no more cross stitch, by the way. If you are not interested in all this, you can just thank you for watching my video, and there won't be any more cross stitch, just this. Look at those pretty fabrics. So, and then here's the old-fashioned fire trucks. Well, this one has like children with Jesus and Ford trucks and dogs and Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer, and let's see, open it back this way so I can show you some of the other fabrics. Fire trucks and firemen, and there's like Dalmatian dogs. Covered wagons. There's Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer. And this one has little miniature trains. I gotta open it up this way for you to see some of the fabrics. Sorry, it's kind of time consuming for me to do all this. But now you can see the trains. They're just the tiniest little trains. And let's see, there's a polka dot, blue and yellow. I think that's all the different designs. Yeah. Well, anyway, certain squares have better pictures than others as far as like. Yes, I want to show you. Like the children or angels or. I decided I had to go ahead and make the video today, even though a lot of people show more stuff in their videos, because I'd be too tired if I made a longer video or showed more stuff. So it's just as well that I don't get more done. This is what I have the energy to show you, barely. I know I'm tired from all that, but have a nice rest of your day. Here it's the evening, and so there's not a lot left to today. The holiday's almost over, and we start back to our next new week, first week of December.